Time of the year again, everyone. And as you could probably tell from my entrance, I've been hitting the eggnog extra hard to get into the holiday spirit. Who's ready for yet another holiday-themed tale full of Yuletide cheer? Oh, today's story is a classic holiday tale of good and evil, filled with greed, a very nice 4-poster bed, and a bunch of gravestones and hideous mutants and spooky ghosts. Ooh. Yeah, I know it's kind of spooky and dark for a holiday tale, isn't it? But you know what? We're already all out here, and this is the show that they literally paid me to do on the schedule, so let's get on with it, shall we? Oh, this is so exciting. For today's story, we travel back in time to jolly old England for a dignified holiday tale written by Sir Mr. Charles Xavier Dickens and brought to you by Disney Plus. Yeah, that's right. Disney Plus is paid to keep little old Storytime around for the holidays. Finally, a streaming service that understands quality content. You're watching Disney Plus. Okay, well, now that the pandering segment of this performance is over, let's get to the actual story, shall we? I'm very excited about this, by the way. It's not often that I get to do something as lighthearted as a Christmas tale. Oh, these are always so full of joy with uplifting, positive messaging. All right, page 1. Marley was dead. Wow, that is a very dark start to this story. I'm not sure Disney Plus actually signed up for all of that. Maybe we should just skip ahead to the less morbid parts, huh? Let me just turn a couple pages. Okay, here we go. This is a very nice, uplifting, and joyous sentence. The meanest old curmudgeon in all of London town was a vile, ugly, hairy, it says all of these, miserly, prickly old brute by the name Loganezer Scrooge. Old Scroogey really did not like the holidays and always went around saying, bah humbug, bub. Classic Wolvie. You know, he had a very handsome, extremely charming, and very funny, although a bit of an acquired taste admittedly, employee by the name Wade Cratchit, Pool. Yeah, that's right. Poor old Wade just wanted to enjoy the holiday season and have literally a single day off in his entire career. But old Scroogey was always like, get back to work, Bob, and count my money. He was a very not nice person. He was very mean, actually. Oh, there he is! Look, everyone, it's the hideous Loganezer Scrooge!
Yeah.
No, stop your clapping and cheering, all right? He's the villain of this story. Boo him!
Whoa.
Boo!
Whoa! All right! Stop, I get it. You're doing a Christmas carol.
Hush your succulent lips, Wolvie, all right? We are not allowed to say the name of the show. We don't have the rights to that yet.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, you know, none of this really does. The writing on this whole shtick has probably run its course at this point. We were supposed to be like a limited time only magic for the summer type of contract deal, but now we just won't go away. Yeah, just like those weird themed popcorn buckets with the huge gaping mouths.
Okay.
Anyway, the good news, Wolvie, is you're the shining, shimmering star atop of this story's Christmas tree. AKA, you have way more lines in this one. Here, have a seat.
No, I don't think so.
Aw, come on, have a little Christmas cheer. Don't we all want to see Wolvie join us for a holiday treat?
Fine. Give me this book.
Well, Wow, he's already halfway into character. What a little grump. All right, here's your hat.
Absolutely not.
All right, well, you know what? I don't know if this would have fit over your pointy elf ears anyway.
Okay, all right, let's just get to the story.
All right, that's the spirit. Let me just give you the Spark Notes version, all right? So, Scrooge is told by his dead partner that he'll be visited by 3 ghosts who all will restore his belief in this Christmas season. Your biceps are
I'm
so
aware
strong.
of the story, all right? One ghost tells Scrooge he needs to learn to accept the past. The other one tells...
Oh, hold up there, buddy. Easy, my chum. Got a few minutes to fill here, all right? Kind of have a minimum time requirement thing going on.
Great.
Sure, the first one shows Scroogey his sad past. His sad origins, if you will.
Watch it.
And then the ghost of Christmas present shows up, and it's just this giant, child-minded figure, way larger than a normal man should be, with a body made completely of metal and a very obnoxious Russian accent. It went a little something like this. Hello, Kanizar Scrooge!
That's a horrible Colossus impression.
Look upon the Cratchit-Pool family and see your shame. Just look at all that shame out there.
Yeah.
All right. He shows them a picture of a beautiful Cratchit-Pool family living in a tiny but humble studio apartment off of Pico and Crenshaw. Blind Al was there, Dog Pool, and little tiny Peter Pool, who was obviously sickeningly ill and leaning on a small crutch. They could barely get by on the meager salary that Wade's boss was giving him.
Bah humbug.
That was not at all the right time to say that. You were like 3 pages late on that cue.
All right, I'm getting bored, okay? Let's just keep this going.
No, wait. You must look upon this poor sad family and finally feel one true emotion. A single salty tear trickles down your chiseled jawline.
Stop. This is a holiday tale?
Yeah, it is kind of dark, isn't it? Just wait till we get to the cemetery scene.
Let's just make this simpler, all right? Ebenezer,
Loganezer.
Scrooge, is visited by 3 ghosts. They teach him that he needs to keep the season in his heart all year round and to be good to others. Tiny Peter Pool does not die. Scrooge pays to get him healed up and they become pals. Loganezer is then, true to his word, is a better man. I guess basically this story reminds us to be kinder to our fellow man and to keep the season in our heart all year round and to think of those who are less fortunate than us. And to, I guess, overall be less of a jerk. No.
Wow. I know I speak for all of us when I say you're not the only one with the single tear running down your cheek. Oh, Wolfie!
Okay, let's not get carried away.
You see, children, the spirit of the season can live deep inside of all of us. Even an old, and I really do mean old, miserly, furry, ugly.
Watch it.
Even old Logie Bear can have a soft spot.
All right.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the story. Oh my. Wow, you just touched my blades.
Okay.
All right, now here's my favorite. Well, this is now my second favorite part of the story. Tiny little Peter Pool, on his newly refurbished legs, waddles over to Scroogey McDuck,
Is this necessary?
grabs him by his, wow, very muscular inner thigh muscles,
We're getting close.
and exclaims for all to hear, God of thunder, bless us! Everyone, Logie Bear!
Yeah.
After he nuzzles his tears into Logie Bear's, again, very strong quadriceps,
Get up.
they all lived happily ever after. Thank you. Especially because this story in particular has been rehashed and merchandised dozens of times over the years. It's what we like to call in the business easy money.
Great. So that's it?
I don't know. You think we got time for one little carol?
I told you no singing.
Come on, you've got such perfect pitch, my chum, and such deep vibrato. Maybe a couple bars of, oh, come, all ye faithful.
No.
All right, well, Scrooge's blood sugar's getting alarmingly low. Maybe we should get you some hot cocoa, huh?
Maybe some delicious chocolate chip cookies for your tum-tum? You like that, Wolvie?
All right. Well, thank you all for coming, and no offense, but an even bigger thanks to Disney Plus. Oh, happy holidays, everyone. Wolvie.
Bah humbug.
Wolvie.
Just kidding. Happy holidays, everyone.
Oh, he does care.
I don't care.
He sure does.
I don't.
All right.
Maybe later.
Ride like the window pinder.
Alright, hurry this up.
Just think, if it wasn't for Disney Plus, none of us would be here right now.
Why do you keep saying Disney Plus?
Oh, you just said it too. Your paycheck just got a little fatter, my chum.
I'll take it.
Hi. How you doing? Hello there, little tiny Spider-Man. You know, you're softening up in your old age, my chum. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but the ghost of Christmas Days of Future Past was actually Johnny Storm.
Let's keep going.
And you know what? I didn't bring it up because it was filled with so many vulgarities, but now that I'm off stage, he said...